I'm Lars Wennerstrand. My friends call me Lasse. That's a Swedish nickname for Lars, if you wonder. Not Lassie, as in the dog or the girl. And yeah, I'm a 33 years old former graphic designer and 3D 2D animator. Now I'm a hobby webcomic artist and the husband to a lovely, remarkable wife. That's all too proud. I'm making her smile behind the camera right now. She's blushing. Now she's looking at me like an idiot. And I'm also the father of 3 kids, wonderful kids, full of energy, full of life. They gave me grey hair and wrinkles due to their shenanigans. But yeah, that's who I am. And I'm from Sweden, as I told you, a Nordic country in Europe. Not to be confused with Switzerland, because we don't have that chocolate here. That's me. That's who I am. Well, I didn't actually. You see, it kind of started half a year before I was ill. I was getting a ride home from college by a friend. We had stayed there late for an assignment that was due in a couple of next days. She dropped me off a bit from home, very close, but still had to walk a bit. And I was going in a tunnel when I was jumped by 3-4 persons or something like that. I have a bit of a memory loss, so I don't really remember what happened, but I got the story retold for me by my friends. So I told them at the time what happened, and they have told me since then, because the memory loss has been gradually. So I was jumped in that tunnel. Probably it was an assault where they filmed the incident, and you know, for shits and giggles. And I was nearly beaten to a pulp when a couple of others intervened. And the next day, my first memory of the incident is that I wake up at home in my bed feeling sore all over. I go into the bathroom, blood everywhere, and I got bruises, I'm beaten up and everything, and I was in a shock. So I went to school. I asked my friend, hey, can you pick me up again? I have a little hard time walking. And she did. And I came there, and one of the teachers said, bloody hell, and drove me home. But first he bought me pizza, and we watched a movie. But it took a couple of days before I realized something was wrong, because I was not really there. I was going through the motion on autopilot, and I ended up in the hospital. But nothing really came of it. Those who attacked me were masked, so I didn't see their faces. Either way, after that I had a very hard time sleeping. I only slept like 2 or 3 hours a night. Drank coffee and energy drinks just to keep going, always pushing forward, never looking back at what happened to me, and couldn't stop. I studied 100%, I partied 100%, went to the gym, went swimming, were never home. It was a mess. But at the same time I got a lot of friends, and they was, where do you get your energy? And I like, in this can. Yeah, so it's store-bought. So I just kept going always, never really slept, and it took its toll on my body. Half a year later, this was back in 2010, so half a year later, it was the early summer of 2011, and we were working on another assignment, of course, a big project, a group project. I was sitting much in the computer lab and working, making 3D models, animating and stuff. And I started getting these nosebleeds every day, and it was a lot of blood came out. I just didn't know what I picked my nose too much. I don't know, but still. So one of the days I felt a little fuzzy in the head. I said, "Hey, let's go for a walk." And my friend was, "Yeah, let's get some fresh air." So he took up a cigarette, and so it was no fresh air. We just walked, and he told me I fainted. I came to pretty quickly. I just fell down on the ground, but I don't remember that, because first thing I remember is waking up in the hospital, in the ER, and I didn't know what happened, I didn't know where I was. I had surges of pain all on my body, and I was shaking, my hands were shaking, my legs were shaking. It felt like, you know, when your leg gets restless and you bump it up, down, down, up, up, down, down. It was like that, but in your whole body. I was shake, 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 Sonora. Shake your body twice. Yeah. I went in for a CAT scan, I think it's called, or MRI. I'm not sure of the English name for it. But anyway, and they found out I had probably had a TIA. That's a mini stroke. And they thought it might perhaps be due to the external and internal stress that I had. That's when it all began, really, and I was ill. Yeah, here's my dog, Ludde. He's an old man, going on 10 years old now. Grumpy old fella, but he is wonderful with the kids. Yeah, what happened next was that I were in the hospital. I could not walk. I was sitting in a wheelchair and I couldn't use my hands. The fine motor skills were all gone. That was a nightmare because I always dreamed of becoming an illustrator. And they just tried to find out what was wrong and find out how they could help me. Trying to learn how to walk again and try to use my hands just for simple things like eating and picking stuff up. That is very hard. Then I escaped because I had promised a couple of friends that I would be at their exam. Well, not exam, that's the English word, the Swedish word. The graduation. They graduated. So I escaped. I called a friend and said, "Can you come and pick me up? I'm in a wheelchair." And she was, "What? Why are you in a wheelchair? Where have you been?" And I said, "At the hospital. Can you pick me up?" So she picked me up and drove me over there to their graduation. And the funny thing, they were nurses. So they were graduating as nurses. And I had a guy in a wheelchair, in a hospital clothing, sitting behind them. People thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. But yeah. So I sat there, happily smiled, and hey, yay, graduation! Take me back. But then, about 10 weeks, or no, 10 days, they released me home because I was able to walk with a stick. What is it called? Don't look at me, I don't know, asking you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was walking with the crutches. Yeah. So I got some help to get home, and just I couldn't take care of myself, so I had to go back to my hometown and live with my mom for a few weeks. And also at the same time I was crushing really hard on this girl. I was like so in love. We had met at a student party and began talking. She was from another city, and it turned out it was my home city. She was studying, and we met up. And I thought, this is doomed. She's not gonna want to meet a blimey cripple now, but she did. I don't know what's wrong with her. And we went on a date, grabbed a coffee, saw a movie, and now we've been together for nearly a decade and have 3 kids, ages 1, 5 and 7, and they are healthy and just wonderful. So in all that bad that happened, I was really lucky, I can say. It was just all the beginning for me. For now I had to try and find out what happened to me, find a diagnosis. I didn't know if this was permanent or if it was gonna go away. So I was sent to different doctors, experts. They did a lot of exams. I was needled and prodded so much, a porcupine will flinch. It's like, hey, gonna stab you here. Okay, blood there. Hey, we need some of your pee and some of your poop. I got here's my underwear. Well, it was all the time. That continued for a couple of years, or 4 or 5 years before I came in contact with a chronic pain expert. And she just had a look at me, look at my records, anything, and said, "You got fibromyalgia." And I was, "What is that?" And she was, "Yeah, it's a chronic pain diagnosis that's unspecified because they don't know what triggers it really, or how, or why. And I also have tremors. Right now have medication for it, so I don't shake that much. My outer tremor is under control by medication, but I always got inner tremor. It's shaking all the time, it's exhausting me. It's like I'm working out, but I'm still getting fat. And yeah, that's how I got my diagnosis 4 to 5 years after. And the first step then was to go to physical therapy and regular therapy to try and find a way to not solve it but to live with, and how I should be able to handle day-to-day life. And it's been a rough couple of years then. We had our first kid, so we had an infant at home. I was going to therapy, always exhausted, trying to get my degrees, and yeah, that was a rough couple of years actually, but we tried to make it work. Most of the information I have gathered over the years comes from different foundations and websites, and some of it comes from doctors, but they never really have time to talk to you. They just say, well, you're fucked. And but I also met a lot of others with fibromyalgia, in English. Not that many with tremor, because my tremor is Parkinsonic related. That means that it's related and treated in the same way that Parkinson is, but it's not degenerative, so my muscles won't wither, or what the correct term is. So yeah, I take levodopa medication for that. But for my fibro, they set me on painkillers at first, but it doesn't really help that much. It might relieve some of the worst, making the sharp edges a little numb. But I try to avoid pain medication, especially strong stuff, since I met some others with fibro who has become addicted to it, or takes 3 or 4 different kinds, and that well, it messes up their energy because they get tired from the medication. I get tired of the medication, sleepy, and I'm always exhausted as it is, so I don't need something to make me even more tired. But what I take is muscle relaxers, so I can sleep at night without cramps or muscle spasms. And I also take antidepressants, just for the chemical balance, because it's very easy to become depressed if you have a condition like this. And some of those I met have become very depressed, and they don't think they will find back their lives. They can't work. I can't work. I'm actually, yeah, I have been training and evaluated over the years, and they just came to the conclusion that you're not able to work because you can't hold a steady job. I never know in the morning how I will feel later in the afternoon. It's like a roller coaster. But yeah, I'm good. Oh hell. Yeah, I'm good. Oh man. Whoa. It's like that every day. So I never know how I'm gonna feel. So it's kind of stressful also for my wife, because she has to take care of the kids more than I do, and we try to split the household chores, but some days I have a hard time getting out of bed. I try to always get up, get clothed, have a shower, but it takes so much energy. It's just like, yeah, it's like, okay, I just rise and sunshine, everything, now I'll go back to bed. But most of the information I found is from websites, foundation and others with the same condition as me. And I joined several forums for chronic pain and fibro and others, just to come in contact with others. But also a little left out, because like 95% is women who gets this disability, and I'm not a woman, as you can see perhaps. I don't know, my wife's aunt, she has bigger beard than me, so who knows? No, but I'm a man, I'm a male. Yeah. So when I first called my father and said I had fibro, he was like, what, you got the whiny bitch disease? And I was like, yeah, thank you Dad, I didn't know it was called that. And you too. So it went like that. Fibromyalgia is a chronic pain disease that's have become more common over the recent years, or rather it's not more common, it's more accepted than it was before. doctors or even countries have a hard time accepting the diagnosis because it's so difficult to pin down. Mostly it's women who gets it, 95% I think, and we don't know what triggers it, why or how, but we have research have succeeded in trying to narrow it down to internal and external stress. It can be psychosomatic or somatic, be triggered by an injury, a viral infection, or internal turmoil like a bad breakup, somebody dying, PTSD, or you can have a trauma, both physical and mental, and somewhere along the way the brain short circuits and starts sending out the wrong signals, and they don't really know how to block those signals because we still need them. You need to feel pain to know, oh, that's hot, I should not put my hand in the oven, or oh my god, my hair is on fire, it hurts. So you can't block just those signals, and in some cases like mine we don't know if it's in the brain or if it's neurological, because I had assault and I was kicked in the spine and back of my head. So and if it's in the nervous system, it can be anywhere that the signals are getting messed up. So it's very hard to pinpoint where and what and how it is. And also very difficult because those with diagnosis, some just say, hey, have you tried yoga? Well, I can't do yoga, I'm too stiff. Yeah, try and eat better. I'm eating better. I'm eating just fine, thank you. Or you can say, oh, it's all in your head. Well, if it's all in my head, yeah, I know, because the brain is it's what's makes us function, and something in there is not functioning well. So many people just have hard time accepting it or just believe in it because they can't see it. It's an invisible disability. Yeah, it impacted me very much. Before I was very socially active. I used to go have coffees with friends, play basketball, be a shitty skater, but I couldn't do tricks. And I was drawing comics and writing for the local school paper. As a teenager I was a youth leader in the Scouts and the church. And I just, I liked the social parts of it. But it all just ended when I got ill. I don't have the energy anymore. The pain can keep me in bed for days. If you're wondering what that sound is, it's our annoying dog just walking around. He's walking around all the fucking time. Ignore that sound. So yeah, just for an example, a couple of weeks ago we had a dinner with my sister-in-law, her husband and kids. And the kids were sitting in this sofa and watching TV, and we sat on a table next to them and ate tacos, the Swedish national gourmet food. Swedish love the tacos. Yeah, it was fine. We didn't do anything really, just sat there, talked, being social. And then when they left, I just crashed. I was so tired, and due to being tired, I got more pain, and it hurt more. So I was out for like a day after that. Or if you go out with the kids and play or something, or do a little excursion, just going to the mall or something like that, I can be out for 2-3 days after that. I just can't do anything. I get brain fog, I don't know what to say or talk, and I like to talk. I don't like the sound of my own voice, but I like to talk. So yeah, it impacted my day-to-day life very much, and the household chores, my wife takes care of that, as I mentioned, very much. The kids can't always rely on me helping them. We have to split that up, and I can't work. I have a hobby, drawing webcomics, because I need a creative outlet. And I was born a storyteller. I need to tell my stories, and it's just pure entertainment, horror comedy webcomic. I can only update it once a week at the most. Sometimes it can go weeks where I don't, I can't draw, not on pen and paper, not on computer. So I have to relish those few moments that I can. And I just love telling stories and writing and drawing. But I can't do it commercially viable due to I don't know if I can work on a schedule and so. So yeah, social life is it's not bad, but it's not good either. My wife has more social activities than I have. She can meet up people, and though she is not reliant that I have to come with the family every time. She's wonderful that way. I can, if I feel bad, I stay at home. I play some video games perhaps if my fingers allow it and my hands. I need that thumb to jump and shoot and stuff. But if I can, I try to join in because I don't want to be a recluse either. Just sitting at home, growing a big beard and shouting at people, walking on my lawn. So yeah, that's it's kind of sad in a way. I get a bit sad over it because I want to meet people. I want to be socially active, but I still have to make the best of it. First off is with medication. I take my antidepressant, muscle relaxers, levodopa medication. Sometimes I have to take my pain medication, but usually I try to avoid that. And then it also that if I have a bad day, I have to let the body relax and save my energy for when the kids come home from school or daycare. Other days when I feel fine, I try to do things that make me happy, like drawing a webcomic, playing video game, just talking to my wife because she loves talking. She's behind the camera right now saying, "What the?" Yeah, and always also try to. The pain is. I know that if I overexert myself, I'm gonna have more pain the next day or the evening and so. So I have to be modest with everything I do. I can choose to do one big thing a day, and it can be today I'm gonna cook, or today we're going to the mall, or I'm gonna go to the grocery store, or I'm gonna get out of bed. That can be the big thing for that day. I'm gonna have a shower. I don't want to be Stinky Pete anymore, and so that's how I try to manage it. And trying to live with it is hard. It's not something you're used to really, because every day hurts. It can be, but trying to manage it is like I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I want to blow up the world. I hate everybody. I hate everyone. I gonna kill someone because it hurts so much. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And that's just like everyday life. I have my ups and downs. I can be a grouchy old man who just tries to not yell at people or curse using profanity. I can be the happiest man alive. It can be a little dancing, a little fun so it's yeah, my temperament and my moods can swing a bit. I try to ease it out, and I try to become the best version of myself that I can be. So recently, since we moved here, I try to be on top of things. I try to be better father, a better husband, a better friend. I lost many friends due to my illness. Some just didn't know how to handle it, they didn't know how to talk to me or so. Or some I didn't show up for that party or that social event or stuff like that, and they just like fell out of touch. So I try to focus on myself and my family at first and try to be who I want to be, because in a way I feel like I lost a decade of my life. I lost my 20s. Just all the adventures, building a career, everything like that just was robbed from me, and I feel guilty also because it was robbed from my wife. She missed out on that because she chose to be with me, and it's hell. I'm trying to do. This is not going away. This is chronic. So I want to give myself, and I want to give her those little adventures that we missed out on. Just trying to be a happy couple, a happy family. Take the kids out, let them play. Don't lock the doors when they try to come in. No, I'm not locking them out. I'm locking myself in. So that's how you manage it. You can't just be a survivor. You have to live life also. And I'm tired of just being a survivor. One of the most important lessons I learned during therapy and meeting others with fibro is that you're not your disease. I'm not my disease, my illness, my disability. I'm a person behind all of this. I don't have to be my illness. I don't have to go around and lose myself in pain or be depressed over it. It's hard, it's rough, it's hell. Some days I want to bloody end it all because it hurts so much, but I'm not my disability. I am someone who is disabled, and I can't forget who I am. I am a father, a husband, a dog owner, a webcomic artist. I am someone who likes to joke around and laugh and just be myself. I can't always be myself. Sometimes I'm really down, I'm very tired, exhausted. Some days I stutter my words. Every sentence I say I sound like Porky Pig. Well, that's all, folks. Or I'm shaking uncontrollably. That's not who I am. That's what I have. But who I am is me. And you're not your disability. You're an awesome person who happen to be disabled, and we have to keep fighting, to keep just pushing forward. We can look back, the rearview mirror is always there, hindsight is 2020, say, well, that's shit. But no, I lost a decade of my life, I feel. I'm not gonna lose anymore. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to keep going forward. And I have my webcomic, modest following. It's pure entertainment. It has nothing to do with my disability, but the platform around it I'm trying to use now to spread awareness among my fans and readers. That's also why I'm happy to get the shot of this interview, because it's the first step for me also to spread awareness, tell people who I am, what my disability is. Others have it, and we are among us, we are among you, and we want to keep living our lives. So I'm not my disability, you're not your disability. We're just awesome bloody people kicking ass and trying to make it through the day, through the year, try to get old. And I usually say that I'm too young to get old just yet, but I'm too old to feel young. But that's not gonna stop me anymore, because I want to be someone my kids can be proud of, someone who my wife can say that she loves, and that I'm there for her as much as she's here for me. So we have to keep fighting, we have to keep going. And that's the best advice I have. One day can be hell, one day can be okay, one day can be more than okay, but if you keep going and support each other, we can make it through this, I think. And that's really all I have to say. I talked very much, I've been rambling about. Sometimes I even don't know what I'm talking about. It's like, I'm gonna tell you this, but first I'm gonna talk about this. So now I'm gonna shut up. And thank you for having me. Bye! Hej då!